Waving white flags and singing, hundreds of displaced in Colombia are trying to be seen and heard. This is considered to be the Western world's biggest humanitarian disaster. Yet it's also one of the least visible. The almost 3 million uprooted don't live in camps. Fleeing the violence, they move from place to place, taking refuge in shanty towns, neighbouring villages or across borders. In March 2007, the UN High Commissioner for Refugees, António Guterres, visited Colombia and neighbouring Ecuador to see the situation for himself.
Our entire work, together with the authorities, with the Church, is to create conditions that will progressively ensure that the law is applied in practice to guarantee the rights of every displaced person.
Las excelentes leyes existentes para garantizar los derechos de ciudadanía a estas poblaciones desplazadas.
The indigenous communities are amongst the hardest hit by the violence. Vulnerable because of their isolation and small numbers, the indigenous are more easily forced off their lands, the warring factions killing anyone who blocks their way. These communities are often accessible only by boat or long treks through the forest, making it difficult to assist them on a regular basis. However, UNHCR helped thousands to receive identity documents and learn about their legal rights.
We are a community that has suffered a lot, that has been marginalized because of the violence in our country. I think too that as an Afro-Colombian community, we have rights to public services and we have the right to live in peace.
For those Colombians who have fled across borders, the assistance is limited. The communities hosting the refugees are also impoverished. In Ecuador, Guterres praised their generosity.
We are on a bridge which thousands of refugees fleeing violence use to come to Ecuador. We need to call the attention of the international community to this. The people of Ecuador have been giving protection and sharing their resources with many, many people, and they need to see some international solidarity with them.
Almost all the refugees and displaced have experienced some act of violence. Few lives have been spared the trauma the decades-long war has imposed.
Some years back, they killed one of my uncles, then several of my cousins, then one of my brothers. 2 years ago, they killed another of my uncles and then a cousin. They shot him. He was wounded, but on the way to hospital, they took him out of the ambulance and finished killing him.
UNHCR is working with the Colombian government to try to increase the humanitarian space to allow further assistance to those most affected by the violence, and to further help the communities that are hosting large numbers of displaced.